Hey everybody, welcome back to another live stream. Today is Wednesday. Already Friday will be just around the corner, as we've been talking about for the last 3 weeks now. It seems like every time we turn around, it's Friday again. But today is Wednesday, July 16th, starting off this live stream with a tsunami warning. A massive earthquake has just occurred up in the Aleutians of Alaska, the Aleutian Islands. And it's no stranger to earthquakes. You can see on the map right here that I took a screen grab of. There's several small earthquakes in this area. There's been a large one less than an hour ago, a 7.3 magnitude earthquake that did come with a tsunami warning issued by NOAA. Right here's the warning. It started off initially as a 7.2. It's been upgraded to a 7.3. And right here is let me get my handy dandy zoomer going here. Right here's the area of the tsunami warning. Right along the Aleutians of Alaska, all the way up to the mainland. Anybody up in Alaska feel the earthquake? Talk to us. Did you guys feel the earthquake? Anybody in Alaska in the chat room? Hi, Alexandria. Hi, Jeffrey. Hi, Mark. Hi, everybody. Hi, moderator. Thank you, moderator, for your help today. As always, the best moderator on YouTube. Once again, a massive earthquake up in the Aleutian Islands. Let me see if I still have, I still have it up right here. Started off as a 7.2, went up to a 7.3. Not much of a change. Sometimes they'll change a little. They usually do, up or down. This one, as you can see, just updated again. Still a 7.3, 20.1 kilometers deep. That's pretty shallow. That's right around 10, 11 miles deep. So could be a tsunami in the works right now up in the Alaska Maritime National Wildlife Refuge. Sand Point, I would say, would be a location to be on alert. Anybody from the King Cove area? Sand Point. There's a classic volcano right there. The Aleutians is known for its volcanoes. It's a chain of islands that expand southwest from the Alaska mainland. You can see there was a very quick earthquake, maybe an aftershock. I don't know. I doubt it, but it's kind of far away. But a 4.0 occurred less than 30 minutes right there near the mainland. So 2 quick earthquakes up in Alaska. So big heads up. Once again, I'll ask if anybody felt that. Hi, Jenny from Palm Springs. Jenny is a Star family. Milton Ray is a Star family member. Welcome, guys. Las Vegas in the house. Manchester, United Kingdom. I've got some stuff to share with you guys from Manchester, United Kingdom. But we're going to talk in this video about some things that I researched several years ago. A lot of you may not know about this. Some of you might. We'll just have to we'll have to see. I want to share something with you real quick. It's just too cool not to share again. I've asked, or actually had people ask me to revisit this topic, and I said, you know what? I would gladly do that. Let me find something here real quick, guys. Hang on. There's another big storm system. Right here is the leading edge of the storm system. We've been seeing flash flooding for the last couple of days. Will we see it again today? We're going to talk about the storm that's brewing in the North Gulf of America. I know, I got it now. It's Gulf of America. This is the leading edge of a storm moving through northern Illinois in the Plainfield area. Just got this in hot off the press by SJ, and I'll show you guys that storm on radar right here. I'll show you where it's at. Bingo, right there. That's the storm. We just saw the leading edge of the storm. That photo was taken less than an hour ago. Right there it is. Very ominous looking storm moving through the northern plains. It's getting bigger. Occupying pretty much most of the northern half of Illinois. Good grief, part of southern Wisconsin. And you can see right where it's headed. So if you're in Indiana, big heads up, because I would say you're going to see some high winds, at the very least, heavy rainfall. What's the power outage situation look like? Let's refresh it and see. Yeah, just what we thought. Seeing power outages, it just doubled, because right before I refreshed the page, it was at just under 10,000. Now we're just under 20,000 outages in Illinois. Right now in Indiana, 470 people off the grid. Look for that number to change probably exponentially from the looks of this radar here. That is a big, powerful storm dropping lots of rain and obviously high winds that are pushing branches into power lines and things like that. So a lot going on again today, guys. But I wanted to revisit a place that we visited. I found this location in 2018, and once I saw it, and you guys too, once you see it, you can't unsee it. At least for me, and it's like a lot of things in life, you know. Once I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, this place is way more complex and it's a lot different than what we've been taught, you know, over the years. And we weren't even taught this stuff. But I don't know how I ran across this. I think it was by sheer accident. Many years ago, I used to scour, and I still do from time to time. I just don't have as much time to scour Google Earth. I think I've looked it over pretty good many times. And there's still plenty of things to see out there. Hey, Melody, thank you for the super chat. New ISO named 31 Atlas. Another interstellar traveler coming through the inner solar system. Thank you, Melody, for the Melody's coloring. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you for the heads up. Yeah, we've got an interstellar traveler moving through the solar system. Comes from another star system. Are you serious right now? We are serious, and it's happening right as we do this video. But we're in Madagascar. Madagascar is off the southeast coast of Africa, as you guys all well know. But this place is very fascinating. It's one of my favorite places on Earth that I've never been to other than on Google Earth. Thank you, Google Earth. It's why it's one of my favorite apps, because Google Earth has allowed me to travel all around the world and see some very fascinating places, this being one of them. And once I saw this place and once I saw what I saw, my mind and my perception of the Earth changed forever. And it'll never go back. What we're looking at right here, and back at the time when I found this too, there was a feature on Google Earth that allowed you to measure the lay of the land. Like you could measure and see the topography, how tall mountains were. Like in this case, I could measure, and I have a folder here full of information. In fact, I'll bring it up right here. These are screen grabs and measurements that I took of these ancient trees from many years ago. They're still there. They haven't gone anywhere. The river here is a feeder. This is what kept the tree hydrated. This was a very big, tall tree. And I think these things were all over the Earth many thousands of years ago. This is one of the first ones that I found. Stick with me, you won't be disappointed. And I think your view of the Earth, or at least this part of the Earth, will change after this video. Because what I'm going to show you, there's no other way to describe it. You'll see, okay, you're looking at, from above, obviously, this is what's left of a big tree. This is a tree stump. And when I first ran across this, I'm like, nah, there's no way, you know, it's too big. Nah, nah, there's nothing off the table when it comes to things around the Earth that you see. And this ties into the Wyoming feature over here in the United States that it's called the Devil's Tower. We're going to visit that place as well. And I'm going to show you some comparisons to some things that, again, once you see it, you can't unsee it. But we're zooming in on what I'm calling a petrified tree stump from who knows how long ago. There's a tower I just noticed. This wasn't up here, I don't think, in 2018. 2018 is when I first found this. And I shared a video on YouTube 7 years ago. But this wasn't up there then. I can see the shadow on the ground. You can see the tower right there. Let me tilt it. Yeah, there's a tower there. That's new, but that's not what we're looking at. You can see what looks like wood. You're going to see what look like branches all around this tree stump here. That's petrified wood. Well, I'd love to go to Madagascar and take a look around. This is a fascinating place. Madagascar is known for its vanilla production. If you guys have ever used vanilla extract, more than likely the vanilla extract came from Madagascar. They produce like 50% of the world's vanilla. Look at the colors here. You can see that looks like the inside of an old tree. Okay, went down, goes down the whole side. Look at that. It looks like a tree, right? Oh, we're just getting started. This is an old tree. Once I show you what's laying around this tree, you'll be just as much of a believer as I am. I know it's big, it's hard to wrap your mind around, but it's just undeniable once you see these features laying around the tree. So here's a stump. There's a stump up here. There's another one over here. There's several in this area. We're going to focus on this one first near Madagascar and watch what's on the ground around what's left of this old tree. We're going to zoom in close. I've got some pictures that I zoomed in on. In fact, I've got pictures framed right behind me. They're just not hung up yet, but this totally changed my perception of the earth. Look at that. See, the all around the circumference of this stump are branches, what used to be branches, that landed right here on the ground. There you go. And this was a big cedar tree, I believe, cedar or redwood. I did the research many years ago. I've got it over here in this folder, and I'll gladly share it with you guys. But see the branches here? Let me see if I can find what was it, a cedar or a redwood? I think it was a cedar. There we go. Yeah, it's a cedar tree, or it was an old cedar. I've got some comparisons that I'll share with you guys, and you'll be like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Okay, that one is one of the many examples that I put together. Hang tight, here's another cedar branch. Let me flip this vertical, then there we go. They're all over the place over here. That's a cedar tree. It's a cedar branch. I'll show you guys more examples. This is just one area of many that span for miles around this tree stump. How else did those surface features get there? And the lay of the land is pretty much bare. Look at this. Here's another one. Let's tilt the heading. Tilt it up. There you go. There's a branch. There's a branch. They're all over the place, all around the stump. Even the other stumps that I'm going to share with you guys here in a minute. These are what's left of branches. That's why there's trees growing in there. These are like little baby, like little saplings of once what stood here many, many eons ago. Here's the side of the stump right there. I mean, seriously? I mean, how much more obvious can you get? Look, that's all petrified wood on a very large scale. I mean, to me, it's just undeniable. And then here's more examples of branches, parts of branches. See the fingerlings of the branches? There's the branch itself. Those are cedars. Sure they are. Giant cedars. And if I'm not mistaken, there's reference in the Bible about giant cedar trees or redwood trees. Oh, we're just getting started. Hang on, guys. Here's another example. Look at the branches. Look at this. Look at the lay of the land, how flat the land is. The land isn't necessarily known for its geological features. It's flat. Everything's flat and pretty barren, with the exception of these things. Where did they come from? They just kind of magically showed up? Yeah, they fell off of a big tree. Who put them there? That's the thing. So I don't think the earth, and if you look around, I've found other examples. There's examples all around the earth. I could spend hours talking about this. There's examples. Once I found this location, then I started scouring the entire earth. You're going to see some pristine examples of these things that look like they landed and they've never moved. I think they were too big to move, obviously, but you can see the branching right there's the side of the stump again. These branches go, oh, here we go, right here. Here's a great example of these things. Check it out. All over right here. There you go. Big old branch right there. When you're on the ground, you're obviously not going to see it. You can see it from above. You can tell there's definitely been some wildfires over here since the last time I was here. That was definitely not there. Neither was that one. All right. Here's another one right here. There's one branch that I'm going to show you guys. I actually have it framed behind me on a little canvas that's bigger than the Empire State Building. No joke. And it's a perfect specimen of a branch. Oh, here's some other ones too. Look at that. How else do you describe that? How did they get there? There you go. Those used to be biological branches. They were alive. They were part of the environment. That's where they landed. How they got there, I can't explain that, guys. There's the branch itself, and then there's the part of the cedar right there. There it is. You can't make this stuff up. It's right there on Google Earth. Let me show you something. I've got a picture, and there's more. There's even better examples than this. They're all over the place over here. Here's another big patch of these things. You can tell, but again, if you look at the ground is, for all intents and purposes, smooth. It's very smooth. It's a smooth canvas, with the exception of these. There's another one. Part of what was once a giant tree. And there's evidence of giant trees all over the earth. I want to show you something, but this is just one location of many that are over here on the island of Madagascar, that again is one of the world's, if not the world's, leading producer of vanilla extract. I love vanilla. Okay, here we go. Check it out. All right, right here. Yeah, that's in a frame behind me. I was so convinced. In fact, I think I've got the original in here somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Okay, on the right, obviously the Empire State Building. On the left is a collection of branches, leaves that were once on this tree stump that we're looking at. I measured, I'll try to find it again if I can on Google Earth, but this branch configuration is over 1,200 feet long. Isn't that nuts? 1,200 feet long. It was bigger, or as big, as the Empire State Building. That's why I put them side by side. And this is an area right here where we're at in Madagascar. There they are again. And trust me, they are in a frame right behind me. I was so taken back by this area. These are branches. You can see the trees growing where the branches fell. Obviously much smaller. Those are little saplings, like over in California, where the tall trees are. Those are babies. The sequoias, those are little saplings. Those are babies compared to what once stood there many, many thousands of years ago. I think there's one over there called Sherman. They call it the Sherman, whatever. It's like 300 feet tall. That's a baby. It's a little sapling compared to what used to be there. But let me zoom back out, and this is where we're at, this area right here near Manakana. All around this stump right here, there are tree branches. In fact, I'll show you. This is one of the, I don't know if you can see it real good or not, but there's one of the images that I had made. It left such an impression on me. There they are. You can't make this stuff up, man. And I have a canvas over there on the wall, a big canvas of this particular area right here by Manakana. We're going to zoom in close. This is a different area. This will be over on the north and western side. Oh yeah, this area. I think this is where I had my prints made from. Yeah, it totally is. Look. What do you call that? Ah, it's a cedar branch. Hold on just a second there. There we go. Good example right there. There they are. Look at that. They're twins. Except these are much smaller. These are off of a tree today. That's from many years ago. That's where they landed. But it opens up Pandora's box. It's like, okay, how did they grow to be that big to begin with? I think the atmosphere was much bigger many years ago, and it just simply allowed things to become bigger. That's all. I think the simplest explanation is always the most correct and accurate information. The atmosphere was bigger, things were bigger. No big deal. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. My view screen. Shouldn't be. Oh, that's not the live chat. That's the keyboard thing. Sorry about that, guys. What's up, Timmer23? 7.3 earthquake in Alaska. Many buoys in event mode. Yes, they will be. And those buoys will be in event mode for a minimum of 24 hours. They always are once they're triggered and go into event mode. We're waiting to hear if there was a tsunami that went to like Sandpoint. Yeah, that was my no, my moderator sent me a message saying that there was something in the way of the screen. And what that was, guys, was this right here. I use this feature sometimes to tilt the lay of the land. And if you look at the lay of the land right there, see them? They're totally obvious to me. There's just no other way to interpret this. The land is flat. The land is, it's got some hills, of course, but the hills have no personality, and they would have no personality if it wasn't for these branches that are scattered. There they are. Here's another view. Let me get that out of the way. This is where I had my print made from, this area right here. This area here, you can tell that they just landed and were, for the most part, frozen in time somehow. Don't ask me how. I can't explain that. But I've thought, oh, here's another view right here. Look at those. Look. That's where I had the print from. It's right over there on that wall next to Mr. Einstein. There they are. There's a collection of them. There's several almost on top of each other. And I think some of these right here were the bigger ones. And these are in the neighborhood of 1,000, 1,200, 900 feet long. There's smaller ones right there. Let me go back to here. And you can see the similarities. I mean, it's so obvious. Flip it up, bring it down. And there's their cousins. There you go. They're in the same family. It's the same thing, just on a much smaller scale. So what I think, we're not being told about the Earth, and I could be wrong. I'm just trying to make sense of what we're looking at here, because what we're looking at here are leftovers of something that, in my humble opinion, this was a very large living organism many years ago. This was not here many years ago. What are you guys doing over there? Don't do that. No. No, come on, man. We don't need any wildfires over there. Oh, here's where I had my prints made right there. I better take a screen grab of it now. How would a wildfire start over there? There's nothing to burn, guys. Don't do that. No, look at that one there. You can see it's had a wildfire on it. Don't do that. What are y'all doing? And here again, you can see those are very crisp examples. And they landed on the hillside. See them? Look at that valley. It's full of branches there. And now we've got a couple of wildfires over there. Don't do that. Leave this area alone. Right there they are. You can see they're three-dimensional. They just landed on the hillside. Looking at a super chat, I see the colors coming over here. when you guys send a super chat, it puts blue, yellow, green, red, just depends. Melchizedek, is there any in Simi Valley, California, or near there? I've looked and I haven't seen any. It's a developed area. There's still, trees and forestry. What's unique about this part of the world? The ground is for the most part bare. It was a blank canvas and still is. How we're getting wildfires over here without any vegetation on the ground? I mean, there's a little, but it's not really dry. What are you all doing? Come on, man, don't do that. Stop. No. There's no need for that. Man, they're all over the place. And this is one of the best areas too, right here. See evidence of a wildfire there? No, don't do that. That's not necessary. No. Just stop. Don't do that. But we can still see them. Sorry about that. I know that's not the chat, guys. That's the tool that navigates the view here. This was one of the best ones too. That's okay. It didn't go anywhere. It's still there. And this over here, you can see several that landed right there. And what I think, guys, I've thought about this for a long, long time. Over the course of eons, the atmosphere of the Earth and its constant battle with solar wind, it's buffeting solar wind 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I think the atmosphere used to be much bigger. So by default, things that grew inside the atmosphere and the ecosystem, they just naturally grew bigger because they could. Dinosaurs were bigger. Why are there so many wildfires over here, man? That's irritating. Don't do that. There's another one. What are y'all doing over there? Leave Madagascar alone. Thank you for the super chat. An answer for, I'm sorry, I can't read the whole thing. The tree DNA could be brought from Mars where gravity was less. Very true. Good point. And I like your way of thinking. Thank you for sharing. An answer, let me see your name there. I'm sorry, I can't read the whole name. An answer for you. Good job. Good way of thinking. Thank you for the comment and thank you for the super chat. Why do we have wildfires over here? Stop it. Y'all crazy? This is a beautiful part of the earth. Don't do that. Okay, here's just some more examples. I'm just kind of cruising around. I've got more to share. There's one over here to the left. Here's another wildfire, or evidence of one. But yeah, I think the atmosphere, but again, it could be, like she said, DNA from another planet. But again, the atmosphere, like in today's world, trees only get so big. People only get so big. We don't have dinosaurs. I don't know that dinosaurs could survive in this environment that we have. I don't know. Well, those right there are pristine. Look at those. Yeah, those are perfect examples of cedars. Yes, indeed. Oh, that's cool. Okay. My moderator's talking about a purple crown over here in the chat, and I'd like to thank. Let's see here. Okay, let me take this. I'm just thinking, guys. I'm thinking outside the box here for a minute. I've got some people I want to thank. They bought me a cup of coffee over here at the website. I forgot about this feature right here, right down here in the lower right-hand corner. We put that on the website a while back. Honestly, I forgot it. I didn't forget it was there, but I just hadn't looked at it. And there's some people I need to give shout outs to, and I want to thank you guys. It bothers me about the wildfires. Those did not used to be there. It really does. Okay, but again, I think you guys, once you see it, and I've got more examples of the ancient trees, and I was compelled to take screenshots of this area just in case something like that, were to happen. Here's one that I measured, and I think this is the one that I used. In fact, I know it is right here. This is the one that I used for the image, and you can see these valleys here. They again, they're not full of rock and any other vegetation as far as that goes, other than what was once on a very tall tree. That's what's laying on these little valleys here. And here's an example right here. I took a screen grab. Just beautiful, right? That tells us that this place was at one time something much different. Here's another branch right there. You can see a perfect example, and they're strewn all through this area. The bark color on the side of the steep grade of the stump. I mean, that's no coincidence. That's the color of the inside of the tree bark, or not necessarily the bark, but what was the wood of the tree. Do you know how much water it must have taken? Because if you'll notice, oh, here's a beautiful canyon right here. The Canyon of Branches. Look at that. Look at that. Unbelievable. Those are all branches that were part of a much larger thing. See, just like a lot of the things that we look at, everything has a story to tell. And if you look at this with an open mind, you can totally see, hey man, those things were part of something bigger a long time ago. Absolutely they were. But we'll come back to this here in a minute. I've got a lot of bonus photos to share with you guys. This folder here is full. I took photo or screen grabs of this because, I had a sneaking suspicion that, there could be wildfires come through there and quite possibly take away its beautiful surface features. But once you see that, you can't unsee it. Then you have a whole different perspective of the Earth. I want to touch on this earthquake real quick, that there was indeed a tsunami warning issued by NOAA, and the tsunami warning is right here. And I'm going to take you guys to the location of the, well, it's right here. And I think Sand Point right here was the closest. And I think there's population of what? What's the population of Sand Point? Anybody know right off the top of their head? We're starting to see a swarm. This is a 3.8 that occurred just a few minutes ago. That's a 3.5 within the last 59 minutes, 4.1 within the last 59 minutes, and they're saying that it's 89 kilometers south of Sand Point. In fact, all of these earthquakes, they're using Sand Point as the reference. So 89 kilometers, what's that, about 50 miles, 45 miles? There's a 4.1 again in the last 59 minutes. And then, of course, the initial 7.3 that did trigger a tsunami warning. Not a watch, a warning. They were anticipating a tsunami from this very large earthquake. And I'm sure that all the buoys up here in the North Pacific are in event mode. We'll look at the buoys here in just a little bit. Anybody in the chat feel the earthquake? Are people saying they can't hear me again? Nah, that's not true. I got the volume cranked all the way up. We got a brand new microphone right here. Turned up a little bit higher. You might have your ears checked there. I can't turn it up any higher. We're going to be in the red zone. Nah, the volume's perfecto. Thank you for your comment. Well, let's keep an eye on this place. I'm curious if anybody was in the Alaska area. Julian, looks like erosion. Okay, that's your perspective. You're talking about the Madagascar land. That's not what I see. That's not what I see at all. It's petrified wood. Thank you, Shawandra Browning. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I got a new microphone because this one here, I don't know if you can see it or not. I'll try to pull it over here. It's been around for a long time, and it still works pretty good, but I have to be right up on it. I can't adjust the levels like I can with this with this one here. That's why I got it. Because from time to time, more times than I liked, people would say, hey, you know, the volume's this, the volume's that, you know, whatever. So I wanted to fix the problem. And this one here seems to have done the trick. I still get a few people every once in a while, not very often though. I think it's their device. Depends on what type of device that you're using. The swarm is still ongoing, guys, up here in the Aleutians. You can see the Aleutians right here, and they're no stranger to earthquakes, right? Look at all the earthquakes up here in the Aleutians. This is a weekly occurrence. I can remember many years ago when I first started following the earthquakes, and I'm talking many years ago. Alaska looked just like this. It has always looked like this. This is the location right here off the coast of the mainland, right out in here. This area, I'd say right here, is where one of the world's largest earthquakes occurred back in March of 1964. Right there, triggered a very large tsunami that went inland. We don't want to see another one of those, but I believe it was a 9.4. I don't know, anything above 9. I mean, that's a big deal. But it occurred right there, 9.5, I think. Yeah, the seismic activity is increasing. We talked about that the other day with the increase in solar activity. We're going to see more storms. We've been seeing storms here recently, flash flooding like no other. And here's an update on the hurricane. It's not going to be a hurricane, at least an organized system. I do believe, though, it's going to be a rainmaker. We've been following this for, I don't know, 4 days. We're coming up on the possible landfall of this thing. But again, I don't think it's going to be organized. It's just going to be a very wet 24 hours. You can see some of the rainfall potential. This is a forecast. And like we mentioned, this can and will change even though it's less than 24 hours away. During this 3-hour time frame, south of, well, right in the New Iberia location, Abbeville, St. Martinville, south of Lafayette, you can see the dark burgundy represent 2.89 inches in a 3-hour time frame. That's a lot of rain. And if it does that for 24 hours, which it very well could, you can see a flooding event, flash flooding events in southern Louisiana, southern Texas, southeastern Texas over there with Shanice and Lance and Sunny over there. Reading some of the comments, the islands where we can see them. You know, there are live cams. I just don't know of any right there in that specific area. They call them the FAA cameras, and I know those FAA cameras up there. I mean, we can take a look and see. You guys want to take a look? Why not? Let's do it. Alaska FAA cams. There they are right there. I just saw a super chat come through and I didn't even have to look. You guys want to find it? Here we go. Just that quick. There's your cameras. Thank you, Pluto 2020. Glad you're doing live nowadays. Prep and stay ready, everyone. Thank you, Pluto. Me too. Me too. You have no idea. Me too. Thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you, everybody, for all the super chats and the likes. And okay, we're looking for Sand Point, right? All right. Let's go in a little closer. Let's see what we can see, huh? This is where the earthquake just occurred, guys. Is that Sand Point? Ah, right there it is. There you go. Ask and you shall receive, right? Internet did it again. There's the location of the earthquake. Well, the earthquake was in this vicinity. This is where they're forecasting the tsunami, possible tsunami. Let's just click on one and see what we got. There you go. There's Sand Point, Alaska. Show camera loop. Let's look at the loop ski. And let's play it. There you go. Right on. Thank you, FAA cams. Guys, this is less than 90 miles from the epicenter of the 7.3 earthquake. There you go. How about that for service? And that's on Sandpoint Island. And you can see the bay out there, right? What direction are we looking? Oh, okay. Well, this one here says about 5 hours old. No, that's 4 hours old. Okay. 3 hours old. So this is, in somewhat real time. 2 hours old. So the more we go, the newer they get. An hour old. So this would be the time frame right here that we're looking for. However, we're looking in the wrong direction. We want to be looking to the south, right? Right there. Thank you. Okay, this is looking in the direction of the 7.3, guys. Here you go. What is this, an airport or something? I just saw a little airplane land. But you can see the bay out there, right? Yeah, that's a little airplane right there. Let me stop this. See it? That's a little airplane. What we're looking for, too, one thing that we can pay attention to is camera movement. If the camera starts to bounce around a little bit, which, okay, that's 3 hours old, so this was pre-earthquake. This is kind of like a GIF, really, put video made of images. 2 hours old, an hour old. See the sky open up right there? Look at that. 41 minutes old. So this, okay, 21:17. Let's confirm our time. 2037. 21:17. This was 3 minutes. You're looking at 3 minutes before the earthquake. 7 minutes after the earthquake. And then, of course, it would have taken a few minutes, probably not long, probably 2 or 3 minutes for the primary wave to get to the island. I'm talking about the energy from the earthquake. The tsunami would have taken, I don't know. I don't see any evidence of one. I think because we're looking south in the direction of the earthquake. This is like 30 minutes after the earthquake. No tsunami yet. Okay, then that's back to the beginning. So right there, 21:51. That would be, again, let me look just for reference point. 20:37, 21:51. That'd be hour and almost 20 minutes after the earthquake. I think if there were a tsunami, there would have been one there already. But this is on Sandpoint Island. We are right here looking south. Here's Sandpoint Island, and we are looking this direction. Where's the airport? Right over here. Ah. Where is that little runway? Right there, Sandpoint Airport. Okay, so the water we're looking at is right here. There's the airport. The camera is over in here somewhere. That's exactly where we're at, guys. Right there. So we're looking at the water out here. And that water would definitely rise if there was a tsunami. You bet it would. We're right there. We have a front row seat. That's looking south. Directly at the earthquake, you bet. Let's let this play. Wow. So guys, I'm not seeing a tsunami. I think if there would have been one, it would definitely be here, no doubt about it. The water would have came up through here because this is looking directly at the epicenter of the earthquake. Blake, thank you, buddy, for the super chat. Right on. So I'm hearing that there's, I appreciate that, guys. I'm hearing that there's some wildfire activity up around Area 51. What's up with that? I don't know of any cameras that are right on Area 51. That's kind of a secretive location. I mean, we can maybe look and see if we can find something, but I don't know, guys. I just want to keep an eye on this. One more loop. Yeah, I'm not seeing any evidence of a tsunami, and that's good. Yay, we didn't want a tsunami. Nah. I mean, they happen. That's just part of how the earth works. But can you imagine many years ago when the trees were miles tall? Here's another camera right here. This is Perryville. And these, oh wow, those aren't working. So we got lucky that the ones at Sandpoint were all working. They were all functioning. North, south, east, and west. Cool. Let's look at the west one. I'm out of curiosity. Well, let's see. No, we don't need northwest. We want west. There we go. Show camera loop. Let's do just one more. I can see water out there. Let's just see if it rises any at all. You know, and the thing of it is, it could have risen an inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, 6 inches, but it's not probably going to show up here. There's another airplane right there. Did you see that? Right there. And I get people that watch these cameras all the time, and there's certain cameras that are at certain angles with respect to the sun, sunrise and sunset, and it'll produce this what looks like a ghost sun following the sun through the sky. And guys, it is a housing around the camera. I've seen so many of those over the years that, trust me, it's not anything nefarious. So we're not seeing anything there, but right there is where the epicenter occurred. Right here is Sandpoint. I don't see any more aftershocks. Maybe one. 4.2 right there. That was 2139, 2133, 2125. So the last one being 2139. That was 24 minutes ago. So things maybe, whoop, there's another one. Spoke too soon. Nope, not right there. So you guys are wanting to go to, where you wanting to go? Area 51. What are we going to do at Area 51? You know Area 51, what they used to do up there? I'll let you in on a little, I don't even think it's a secret anymore. They used to make this component that they put on the stealth aircraft. And believe it or not, it was a liquid, and it would give it the ability to not be detected on radar. Yes, and there's evidence of it up there. That's one of the things that they did at Area 51. They made the stealth very stealthy to where they couldn't be detected. What's up, guys? Good to see everybody in the chat. So y'all wanted to go to Area 51. What are we going to do up there? Okay, I don't know. I guess we can try to figure that out, huh? Let's just wing it. I don't know if I can get you guys to Area 51. Windy webcams. Let's go look and see. You want to? Area 51 is not known for its webcams, guys. No, they're not up there broadcasting live. But I do know where it's at. It's right up in here. And we can go to Zoom. I mean, what are you talking about? The wildfires up there? There's wildfires in Utah. There's wildfires out here in Arizona. There's wildfires at the Grand Canyon. I mean, this isn't necessarily looking right at Area 51, but I don't know that they have a camera pointed at the front gate. I kind of doubt that they do, to be honest. Oh, did you see that? Check it out. You know, as kids, when we played outside, it was like we'd see rainbows. When it would start raining, we'd run underneath the pavilion or the porch or go in the garage, whatever, and we'd see rainbows off in the distance after the rain stopped. But you never could see the beginning or the end of the rainbow. And I'll be right here on a windy webcam. What do we see? And this is less than 24 hours old. The beginning or the end, however you want to interpret that, of a rainbow. Probably less than a mile away. Right there it is. You can't make this stuff up. Eureka. I think that's where we're at. We're in this vicinity. We're near Area 51, guys. We're within a few miles, but I don't think they've got cameras out here that are available. If there are cameras out here, I don't think they're necessarily available to the public. What's this one here? We'll look around, see what we can see, right? This is Nevada Dot. This is a I-80 running through northern Nevada. Guys, make sure you become Star Family members. I want to see a star by everybody's name in the chat before we call it a day. You can do that, right? Sure you can. Here's another one. This is Wells. Northern Nevada, I-80, MM355. Okay. That is the only webcam that I see up in this area. Yeah, there's Eureka. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, we're getting close. Getting closer. What if this was the entrance to Area 51, right? Eureka, MEM, mile marker 37. Isn't Area 51 at Groom Lake? I don't see anything that says Groom Lake. That's Eureka again. Oh, wait a minute. They got that blacked out. Why? Oh, they do have that blacked out. Maybe that's part of the Area 51, right? Huh, I wonder why they have that black. I've never seen that on these cameras before. US 50, mile marker 39, Pinto, EU. Okay. Again, we're in northern Nevada. We're looking for something. Oh, wait a minute. We got something over here on the right. What we got going on over here? Unfortunately, we can't read that. Donna Visco, Star Family member. Thank you, Donna. Welcome to the family. What do we got over here? Thank you, Donna. Really appreciate that. Everybody else become a Star Family member like Donna. Everybody in the chat, do it now. It's less than a cup of coffee. You can do it. Okay, I'm trying to get you a camera up here into the Groom Lake area. So become a Star Family member, and maybe next time we'll have a camera right at the front gate. Wouldn't that be something? No, I doubt very certain. What do we got here? Camera there is not working too good. It's got some interference. Did you guys know there's a no-fly zone over Groom Lake? So I'd be surprised, seriously, if we found any cameras at all in this area. There is literally, if you watch, if you've ever looked at Flight Radar 24, you'll see a void in the Groom Lake area. There's no plane traffic that goes over there. If there is, they're flying out of bounds or they have pre-authorization. Mile marker 1, I believe this is still I-80. A little difficult to see. Okay, that's up in California. Let's go here. Wait a minute. Oh, here you go. Maybe have something here. Got me up here chasing Area 51. I-80 at Oriana. Must be an old camera. That's all I can say. That looks like about a 480 pixel. Yikes. I'm surprised it still even works. I guess it's better than nothing, though, right? I-80 East at Lovelock. Now, we're looking for wildfires. I had people tell me there were wildfires up here in this area. I'm not seeing anything with regard to these cameras anyway. Here's a camera right here. Let's see what this has got to say. Rest area, US 95 Trinity. Again, in northern Nevada. Looks like a truck stop. Who knows? Maybe they were making deliveries to Area 51. They have to have resources. They have to come in somehow by truck or plane. There's planes that fly in and out of Groom Lake every day. They're red and white planes. They're unmarked other than the red stripe on the white plane. And I believe they're called Janet, of all things. If you follow Flight Radar 24, which I have it on right over there, the plane's called Janet, flies in and out twice a day. Area 51 as creeps closer and closer. Oh, okay, thank you. And I want to give a big shout out to, hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Bear with me, guys. I'm doing something here. My moderator sent me something. It's kind of cool. But I want to give a big shout out to Pastor Dale and Carla H. from Oklahoma, Debbie, Annie Gaddis, Papa G, and Linda. Thanks for the support and the cup of coffee. That's really cool. Okay, I got something here that I'm going to share with you guys involving, thank you, moderator. You are on the ball. I have the best moderator on YouTube. I seriously do. Just sent me this article about, here we go. Article dated today. How's that for service? Close encounter, Area 51 at risk as huge fire creeps closer to base with black smoke filling the air, sparking wild UFO conspiracy theories. There you go. A massive wildfire has broken out in the area. This is an art. Oh, you know what? We might be onto something with these cameras. Hold on, guys. Let me see what this has to say. Area 51. Where's this camera at? I want this camera. Maybe it'll tell us. There's looking down at the Groom Lake area. It's called the Gothic Fire, started by lightning strike on July 4th, has swelled to 35,000 acres and is burning on lands withdrawn for the Nevada Test Training Range. Okay. It's a camera right there. There's the wildfires. Despite the threat, officials insist no structures are currently at risk, and firefighters are focused on confining and containing the fire. There's also a big fire at the Grand Canyon. Conspiracy theorists. Conspiracies are conspiracies until they're eventually proven to be truth, right? Conspiracy theorists online speculate the fire could be as a cover-up for secret government activities or even claim possible alien involvement. Never know, guys. They say truth is stranger than fiction. Here you go. Area 51 is infamous for its secrecy and links to experimental aircraft projects. That is very true. Fueling decades of UFO rumor and speculation. As I mentioned earlier, I learned from a very smart man many, many years ago. They introduced stealth technology to new aircraft at Area 51. Yeah, this was the old school stealth technology back before they, figured out the cloaking and all that type of technology. Here's the map. It was actually a liquid that they put on these airplanes that made them invisible in the sky. Not literally, but at least to radar. Okay, the fire's rapid spread is blamed on high temperatures, low humidity, and strong winds, which is typical in July, typical for July in Nevada. So there's the Gothic Fire, and right over there is Area 51. So yeah, I mean, it's getting kind of close, but I don't think it's anything completely off the rails. Is that Area 51 or is that Area 51? One of these areas here is Area 51. Right there you go. There's the story over here at the sun.com/news. Thank you, moderator, for the article. We'll come back to the cameras here, which we're in the area of Area 51, guys, but I think they've got the fire, or at least the wind to, oh, maybe we can check on this one here. Sometimes the wind will blow the smoke in, various directions. You can kind of see some wind or smoke over there along that the mountain foothills. But 24 hours later, it's gone. Right there, you can see some smoke. Maybe it's just early morning haze. I don't know. But we've got a wildfire up in the Grand Canyon area. In fact, let's see if we can find a camera in the Grand Canyon. How about right here? There's the Grand Canyon, right? Does look smoky up there. Oh, wow. There is the Grand Canyon. Look at that. Full of wildfire smoke. My goodness. And you know what? Some of that wildfire smoke was pushed down here a couple hundred miles, actually about 220, 3 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, and maybe a day prior to that because our air quality was at 500. It only goes to 500, so it was probably higher than 500. And that's an awesome view right there. That is awesome. I think the water from the Colorado River found the Grand Canyon. I personally don't believe that the Grand Canyon was formed by the Colorado River. Oh, wait a minute. Is this Lake Powell? I'm sorry, Lake Mead? No way. It kind of looks like it because we went to Lake Mead about 3 or 4 years ago, and this looks like the water is contracting so much that the marina was almost rendered unusable because the water was so shallow. I think that is Lake Mead. The water used to be way up here. Yeah, there's the boat dock. That's the boat ramp. The water should be way up here. That's actually kind of ominous looking. We went up there and actually saw it. If that is, in fact, is that Lake Mead? What's it doing on here? Wow, boy, the water is low. Big water, Waheep. Here's another view. Let's look, see. Man, that water's low. It doesn't seem to be as low as Lake Mead. I remember Lake Mead was terribly low, almost. Angela Miller, what's going on with the Caldera? I will show you what's going on with the Caldera. Hold on just a second, guys. Let me do something here real quick. Just as a reminder, because I'm trying so hard. Donna Visco, thank you. Become a star family member today. Link here. And we'll put the link in there. What I'm doing, guys, is, and I just put the Star Family link in the chat box. Everybody sign up. And then we're going to go to, let's see, my moderator is keeping me informed here with what you guys are wanting from me today. So I'm trying to give you what you want. Oh, the Caldera. Let me show you what's going on with the Caldera. That's a good question because we do touch on the Caldera every day. I was just kind of looking at this water situation, big water. That doesn't look like big water. That looks like that shrunk. My goodness. And over here at Lake Mead, I don't know if they even show Lake Mead on here, but we went up to see Lake Mead for ourselves because Lake Mead's our primary water source. That's Henderson, Nevada, 33 minutes ago. Henderson, Nevada is known for its unusual sky activity close to Nellis Air Force Base, part of the, the Las Vegas area. That looks like Henderson, Nevada right there. Again, the camera quality is, not that great, but you know what? It's better than nothing is the way I look at it. Let me show you what's going on with the Yellowstone supervolcano Caldera. I go there every day. I have for years. Today I went there and this is what I found. Nothing. It's offline. So that's why I haven't mentioned it yet. I was going to mention it, later on in the live stream. But yeah, for some reason, I know there's one seismograph that we've been watching. I'll go to yesterday. We've been following this seismograph here that's trying to tell us a story. Regardless of what the story is, we don't know yet, but it's definitely telling a story. It's telling us that there's a broken needle on the seismograph, that the seismograph is obviously malfunctioning based off of what we're seeing on the graph, or there's ground movement. That's what these things are designed for, to detect ground movement. So when we see this type of activity on these graphs, it's telling the story. Hey, the ground's moving something. That's why they're built. So we can't just dismiss it as a malfunction every single time. But we're looking at today, they're all offline. So this isn't the first time this has happened. I don't know why it happened today, but yeah, the Caldera is not being, well, it's being monitored, but not by those seismographs, at least at the moment. Look at the storms in the northern plains. Wow, look at that. Anybody in these areas? Talk to me, guys. Anybody in southeastern Ohio, central and southeastern Pennsylvania, eastern Michigan, eastern Wisconsin, all through north central Illinois, Chicago, northwestern Indiana? Who's in the house? Give us an update, guys. What's going on with these wild-looking storms? Those things look very, very intense. Are you serious right now? We're going to focus on that for just a minute. Look what's brewing down here in the southern Louisiana area. You kidding me? Look at that. That's got strength written all over it. That's strong. And it's very simple. The black, when you see the black cloud tops, that represents strength. That's what that means. That's strong. That's got big hail in it. That's an overachiever. Thank you, CD, for the comment that was sent in by my Drew S. Thank you, Drew S., Star family member. Sign up, guys. Go ahead. I don't even think you can buy me a cup of coffee for what it costs to become a Star family member. I want to see everybody in here a Star family member. But I also want to hear from anybody that's been in Illinois or currently in Illinois the last couple hours. I received a photo from the leading edge of this storm right here. See it? And here's that storm. Now that is what you call real time. That photo was taken probably 2.5 hours ago as this storm right here was developing. And it's moving into Indiana, but is still primarily in Illinois. Anybody in Illinois? Oh, city. Yeah, it's still at 143,000 views. And yeah, it sure is. You're right. Storm's going to miss upper Mississippi. I think so. Yeah. At least the one in the Gulf of America. Yeah, it should miss northern Mississippi for sure. Thank you, Drew, for the super chat. Way to go. Just got word more than a dozen aftershock from Alaska. Let's look and see real quick. Watching this storm activity because I can tell I know the personality of this particular satellite because I've used it for so many years. Usually when I see these colors on here, especially the color down here in southern Mississippi and Louisiana, most of it's offshore, but that is some very intense rainfall, and there's probably large hail embedded in that as well. Looks like there was a 5.2, two 5.2s, 30 seconds apart, one at 30 kilometers deep, one at 23 kilometers deep. Wow. It's not done yet. Those are strong aftershocks, guys. Wow. So quick update on the Alaska earthquake. 2 more aftershocks, 30 seconds apart. 5.2, 5.2. No tsunamis associated with those, but those are still strong earthquakes. Wow, they're seeing some action today up in Alaska. This isn't over yet by a long shot, so stay on your toes if you're in the Sand Point area. We were just there. In fact, there's the tsunami. Now it's a tsunami advisory. It was a warning. So apparently there wasn't a tsunami. Here's the FAA cams. You know, we can go right back down to Sand Point. It's right there. We can keep an eye on Sand Point all day. But right now, the swarming continues. 2 5.2s back to back. Where were we? Oh, we were over at the Yellowstone. Yeah, the seismograph, for whatever reason, is offline today. Maybe they're trying to fix that seismograph. If it has an issue, maybe it's working perfect. And maybe it's telling us, hey, the ground is moving, guys. Heads up. You know, that's why they're there after all. Looking at the Schumann resonance, you know what? For the last 3 days, each row you see right there represents 24 hours. And the last 72 hours have been fairly quiet. In fact, not fairly quiet, super quiet, in the 7.83 range. That's the normal frequency that's the normal frequency of the Earth. So, with regard to the Schumann, wow, earthquakes aren't done yet, guys. So we'll be watching this area very close. How many have we seen here now? 30? No, not in the ongoing swarm. Well, let's go right here. Okay, 13. So you were correct, absolutely correct. Thank you guys for all the super chats and the new Star family members. Let's go. Light it up. Who's got the red banner today? Anybody got the red banner? The red super chat? Those are always fun. I like them all. But red is my most favorite one. Okay, guys. Anybody in Illinois? I'm trying to stay focused and look at the chat at the same time. Anybody in Illinois, please give us an update. That is one ominous looking storm. That storm is moving into Indiana right now as I do this video. It looks like it is wreaking havoc in Illinois right now. And that same energy is moving into Indiana, so they can expect the same outcome. I know what we can look at, power outages. You know it's going to change. Okay, right now, before I update it, I'm getting ready to refresh the page. 19,000 in Illinois, which I'm relatively certain that's going to go up above 20. Let's look and see, right? Just trying to reactivate my Zoom right there. 19,692 in Illinois, 5,859 in Ohio. We're going to refresh and see what the numbers are. 19,886 in Illinois, 7,700 in Washington. How'd Washington get in the equation? Pennsylvania, 6,200. West Virginia, 5,800. Ohio, 5,500. Be more. That is a very strong leading edge. You can see the big bow right there. There's a lot of convection there too. Could be some tornadic activity, large hail, high winds. Winds must not be as strong as I thought they would be, because typically you can tell by the power outages. Power outages tell a lot, you know, and it's normally branches going into communities that have above ground power service. A lot of the newer construction, they're putting the power lines underground, which, you know, is especially in hurricane prone areas, that keeps the power on during hurricanes. The hurricanes that I were in 20 years ago, the subdivision had the power lines underground. So I never lost power, but I had friends that were in areas that had power lines above ground, and the trees were all overgrown, and the trees got blown into the power lines all over parts of the city. Oh my gosh, it was quite a job. There were trucks that came in from Texas, my goodness, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Virginia, North Carolina, I want to say Indiana, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. They all convened on Central Florida, and they were waiting for the storm to pass to get the power back on. Thousands and thousands of linemen that came to save the day. But even all the trucks and all the men and women to get the power restored still took several weeks. I had friends that had power for for more than 4 weeks. Okay, I'm having a mic issue apparently. So maybe, just maybe, hang on just a second. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm sorry, guys. You know what it might be? Check, check, check. No, the mic's good. It's showing it's good. Let me turn it up just a notch. There we go. How's that? Is that better? Moderator is on the ball. Is that better? I just turned it up just a little bit, but it's showing readings are right on the money. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to switch mics. Hang on. Because not only do we have one, we have two. Hang on. There we go. How's that? Is that better? Check, check, check. All right. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? You know, I had to quit using the monitor up there because I was using the AirPlay and I think I got hacked. So what I'm doing now, I've got the chat over here hardwired to my laptop. So it's as if somebody's trying to get into my live streams and mess with the chat. Now, not you guys, but my view of the chat, because up there, it turned off my view of well, it took me off the live stream. And I didn't do it. Hey, we got a new Star family member. Thank you, Shane. Is that better, moderator? Can you guys hear me now? Still bad, huh? I don't know why. You know what, guys? Somebody is, because I'm looking at the meter over there, and the meter is going bounce, 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 bounce. It's working perfectly according to that. Yeah, the mic is working perfectly. In fact, I just went to a new one that's fully charged right here. This is what keeps them charged. Nice and clear, Pluto 2020, fine to me, seeker of truth. Yeah, it's showing over here the signal is strong. Polenta Forest, loud and clear in California. Thank you, Polenta. I can hear you fine, and you're all the way in Oregon. Shawandra Browning, thank you. Something is interfering. My moderator is saying loud and clear in California. Drew S. cutting in and out, Michael. Thank you, Drew. I have no idea why, guys. The signal is showing a very normal strength. In fact, it goes from green to yellow, which is loud, and then to red, which is too loud. I'm right at the very tip of green going into the yellow. So it should be, to be quite honest with you, a little bit loud. But I don't know why it's cutting off. But that being said, we'll probably just call it a day, because something or somebody seems to be interfering with our live streams over here. Like that day it went offline, I saw the inside of a room and all these monitors. They weren't my monitors. I saw something real quick and then it went off. And I saw a lot of green flashing lights just in a matter of like a second and a half. I saw all these monitors and green flashing lights, and then it went off. And it wasn't my room. I don't have green flashing lights anywhere. So sorry about that. Someone is messing around. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you guys for the super chats and the new Star family members. That is super duper cool. Appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for stopping by, and I don't know, I'll charge the microphones and see if it helps, but this one's a full charge. That one there that I was just using has got a 10-hour battery capacity. And we're not even an hour and, I don't even know how long we're into the hour 19, hour and 20 minutes. These things last 10 hours. So sorry about that, guys. I apologize. Something isn't right. I'll get it straightened out, though. Trust you me. we'll figure it out. But listen, I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for watching. If you guys are in the storm areas in Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, have a room, interior room with no glass. Just be ready, because those are some very strong looking storms. They have a very impressive satellite presentation, so they could produce large hail, high winds, and heavy rain. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.